Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Bakersfield Town Hall. I want to thank all of you for taking the time out of your day to be here with us tonight. First, allow me to introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me or haven't met me in town out and about, I'm Amy Thielen, and I get to serve as the Vice President of Bitwise Industries Bakersfield. Our time together tonight is going to go really, really quickly, so I want to give you a little idea of what to expect. So tonight, I'm going to give you a brief update on some of the really, really exciting things that have been happening at Bitwise Industries that you might be interested, that you may have been following, and I'll answer any questions you might have. So get some of your questions ready, and we'll be ready to answer them at the end. So before I jump in, though, I want to draw your attention to the QA button, which is located at the upper right hand corner of your screen. We ask that you please use this feature. These will come directly to our team and we'll answer as many as time allows for us tonight. If we run out of any time, we'll answer any of your questions via PR@bitwiseindustries.com. So if we do not get to your question, again, send them to PR@bitwiseindustries.com. Okay, so let's get into this, you guys. So I first want to start with the update on the return to work and COVID protocols at our Bitwise buildings. So as you may recall, in our last town hall, I said that we were really hopeful that we would be into the office soon. And if you tuned into that last town hall, that was 3 months ago. And the big spoiler alert, right, is we're not back in the office. Although we've been incredibly eager to return, we know that this was the right decision. Right around that time, our team of about 600 was preparing to return to office. We saw a really worrying spike in cases and hospitalizations in our hometown. That, with really the vaccination rate of our county, is what led us to change our plans. So our team has been really, really aggressive in our workplace COVID protocols and policies, and we're going to continue to do that until we can really bring all of our employees back in a very safe way. We'll stay aggressively aware of how these decisions impact our team and our community. We really have hundreds of employees. I just mentioned 600, and that grows every single day. At the end of every week, we do a team call. And every single week, our president announces all the new employees we have. And it seems like every week there's 10, 15 plus employees added. And many of those people, as you guys can imagine, have loved ones that are immune compromised or they're immune compromised themselves. Some have families who are at greater risk of COVID, and others have kids at home that can't be vaccinated. So this is very top of mind for us, which leads us to the decision we've made. So activating our buildings not only really puts our employees at greater risk, but puts their families and by extension, our Bakersfield community at risk if we open our doors. So our team will continue to monitor vaccination rates, case numbers, and hospitalizations in our cities so that we can make the best decision for our teammates and the community at large. So by monitoring this data, it gives us a picture really of the risk of COVID to our community and our team. So once it's safe to return to work, we will, and we really look forward to that day. I spent the day with Mayor Go yesterday, walking her through both the buildings, and she was super eager to know, when are we going to fully be open, all of those things. And, I obviously she would be one of the very first to know when we're going to be opening our doors to the public. But I'd let her know that in true Bitwise fashion, we've been known to throw one heck of a party and a grand opening. So I can't wait to do those kind of things. I know the community is very eager to see us put those kind of events on. We're very eager to put those events on. So just know we want it as much as you. And when the time comes, I think the wait will be worth it. So I want to start with some awards and recognitions, specifically about women in the workplace. So we're very passionate about what we're doing here at Bitwise and the lives we're able to touch, and I think all of you know that. So we work to really help as many people as possible. But it feels great to work with other organizations that recognize the work we're doing, right? So over the past few months, we've been very fortunate to receive a few awards and other types of recognition. The Bitwise team has been recognized. If you've been following some of this, some of you may have seen this, some of you may have not, but we've been recognized by Fortune, Fast Company, PBS, Inc. Magazine, People Magazine, and that's just to name a few. Um, if you, we said this in the last town hall as a coming up, but our co-owner and co-CEO Irma Olgan was also in a TED Talk, which is kind of one of the biggest recognitions of all of these. So all of this is great, but there's two awards that I really want to highlight because they speak to an opportunity to make our world better and a more equitable place. So Bitwise was awarded uh, Best Places to Work for Women. I mean, that's a huge, huge, huge deal. I've been a woman working in tech for a very long time. Um, and to have this award means a lot to me personally, but should mean a lot just for the industry at large. And our co-founder and co-CEO, Jake Sobral, who's equally amazing as Irma, earned the Male Ally of the Year award. So while these awards are a great recognition of Bitwise, I often see it as a recognition really of the whole Central Valley, right? And the great talent that lives in our community. We talk about this all the time, is that we have the talent in our community to do what we're doing. We just have to uncover it. So the greatest part of Bitwise is the humans and the communities that we serve. It goes back to all the things I constantly talk about. So this is my way of saying, Central Valley, thank you. Thank you for giving us the opportunities that you continue to give us. And I think will continue to give us for a very long time. So if you're just joining us, and those of you who may have missed the beginning, I want to draw your attention again very quickly to the Q&A button located in the upper right hand of your screen. Please again use this feature to ask any questions you may have. These will come directly to our team, and we'll answer as many as we can until our time runs out. And again, if we run out of time, please send any questions that you may have to PR at bitwiseindustries.com. Now back to some other updates that I'm really excited to share with you guys. So our building, right? We have two buildings that most of you, I think at this point, have seen downtown. So the two buildings are located on 18th and H, just to the south side of the Padre. One located right on the corner of H and 18th, the other located two doors down that connects to Locale, a super wonderful restaurant, local restaurant serving farm to table in our community. It now has a big BW on the west side of the building, so constantly making updates with that building. And just for a quick, we'll pause for a second before I go to the next building, and we actually have a couple pictures of 1701. So let's take a sec and look at those pictures. All right. So for any of you that have visited this building, this picture you're looking at right now is the upstairs portion of our tenant and Bitwise employee space. It's an open space, open kitchen. That's the original brick. If you can see the beams on the top. We spent weeks, if not months, sandblasting those original beams, polishing and sanding the floors. All of those are original from over about 100 years ago. So that's that upstairs of 1701. Next picture. This is now the reverse side of what you just saw. So this is a shared space. We're big on collaboration, and we want people in our buildings to meet each other, talk, work together, all of those things. And this is really where a lot of that comes to life, right? Are these shared spaces that people can do that in. So this is the other. We were looking basically. west of the stairs, and now we're looking north on the other side. We have another picture. All right, this is our downstairs. So if any of you have walked through the double doors to 1701, this is the first part you see. This is downstairs next to our co-work, next to our desktop, or our, our receptionist, who does a heck of a lot more than just taking phone calls. They're the front lines. They're connecting people to all of what Bitwise does. There's a kitchen downstairs. This will serve as not just a space to collaborate in, but it shares a space for Bitwise employees, Bitwise tenants, Bitwise co-working, Bitwise desk hotel, students, apprenticeships or apprentices, right? This is space for everybody, but it's a really also beautiful space. Next one. And here's one of our conference rooms. This is looking out to one of the shared spaces. If you rent or lease from us, or you're a co-working tenant, or you are a desk hotel member, any of the above, or a Bitwise employee, our offices are open 24/7. That includes all amenities, internet, phone, whatever you need to be using, right? And these, all of our conference rooms are equipped with all the latest and greatest technologies, white erase boards, all the fun stuff, right? Apple TV, anything you need. And this is just one of, I think, four in the 1701 building. So there's just a little sneak peek into what we're doing there at 1701. Let's talk 1723. 1723 is 2 doors down. Like I mentioned, it connects to locale. It should be completed by the end of the year. But what that means then is then our team comes in, they hang TVs, they paint. We invite, some local artists to put up murals. I can't give everything away yet, but I do want to say they have two different looks, different feels, and we do that on purpose, right? We want you to know the difference between the two buildings. But definitely stay tuned for some eateries and other amenities that'll be far different from the 1701 corner building. So we'll announce more to come here soon, but expect some really, really fun and exciting things for 2022. All right, let's talk about Toledo. So Toledo was our first expansion outside of California that we announced, if you guys remember. So things are really heating up in Toledo. You may remember earlier this year, outside of our first national expansion, I think we talked a little bit about the building. I can't remember what details we gave, but the building we have in Toledo is under construction. We cannot wait to see it finished. If you want to follow us on social media at Bitwise Industries on Instagram or Twitter, you can follow any of the construction updates that we're going to be doing with any of our buildings. It's really kind of fun to watch these things come to life, especially if you're interested in the town or interested in construction or just Bitwise as a whole. So now to something that is near and dear to my heart, Bakersfield Ignite Innovation Lab. So we are so excited to announce that, obviously the construction has been finished on 1701. But we've been talking about this and teasing about it, right? The whole partnership with Bitwise, the city of Bakersfield, the county of Kern, putting on the first ever Ignite Innovation Lab. It's meant to support entrepreneurs in the area and provide them with resources and skills to take their innovation to the next level. Partnerships we are so fortunate here in Bakersfield to do this with Bitwise, with the city, with the county. They really create solutions and jobs for the city at large. We could not be more grateful for the partnership we forged here, but this kicked off yesterday. So we can talk about it. It's out there. We have a number of cohort members, people in our community who are launching new companies, right? And this will be a 6-month long cohort. Again, started yesterday. So we're looking to April, May for completion of these members and for new industries and if not companies to launch in our area. We will continue to do these every 6 months. So if you're on this call and you're saying, I missed my time, or I didn't get into this specific cohort, continue to talk to us. These will be reoccurring on an every 6-month basis. So if you didn't get into this first one, please, please, please continue to look towards the second, third, fourth. We're going to continue these as we go. Speaking of partnerships with the city and the county, this is different than that, but speaking of partnerships, we're really, really, really proud to announce a partnership we have with Welcome US. Welcome US is a coalition of businesses, government leaders, activists, and citizens committed to sponsoring and supporting Afghan refugees as they acclimate to their new homes. We'll have more information on what this contribution looks like, but for now, we're in and we're ready to help. So to learn more, please, please, please go to please go to welcome.us. So I've just covered a ton of information. I'm not even 20 minutes in, but we've noticed that we don't oftentimes have enough time for all the questions. So at this time, I would love to open this up to Q&A and answer any questions you all might have about Bitwise Bakersfield and what's going to happen right now and in 2022. So it looks like there is a first question up on the board, and it's, how do I get an apprenticeship? I would say the starting point is very easy. All you need to do is sign up for a pre-apprentice class. There's 4 of them. They start from beginner to more experienced. Beginner means you don't need any experience, you guys. When I say no experience, I don't care if you've ever, basically, if you know how to open a laptop and turn it on and get on the web and those kind of things, sign up for one of our pre-apprentice courses, because that automatically qualifies you to then talk with us about apprenticeships. So qualifications mean you've taken one of our pre-apprenticeship courses. So what classes do we offer? Great question. So we offer let me talk a sec about really our pre-apprentice and apprenticeship pathways, because there's a big differentiator between the two, and I think it's important to talk a little bit about. Now, mind you, I don't live in the workforce training, workforce development world every single day. So we have people that you guys can talk to far more in depth, but let me first just kind of address this. So pre-apprenticeship classes, right, are website for beginners, mobile friendly, JavaScript, and React. Those 4 pre-apprentice courses typically allow you to enter the workforce as a entry-level developer, right? Now, many of you may say, well, I know HTML. I know, some mobile friendly stuff. I need to go in as JavaScript. Okay, great. Sign up for JavaScript. It depends on where you're at in your journey. Depends on what classes you may have taken in the past. Again, there's no pre-qualifications. But if you think you're a little further ahead, go ahead and sign up for something further ahead. Outside of that, there are a number of cohort roadmaps, apprenticeship roadmaps that we talk about. These go everywhere from inside sales to QA, tech support, React, project management, Python, Salesforce, online marketing. I think right now we have at least 20 different pathways that you can take as an apprentice. So a couple different pieces we're talking about here. We have the pre-apprentice courses and then the apprenticeship pathways. So just to differentiate between those two. But great question. So another question came in. How much do classes cost? So this is kind of the fun stuff, right? This is where it gets exciting. And this is where Bitwise is transforming cities, right? We're literally building tech economies in the cities we're at. So these pre-apprentice courses are $250 per course. So there's 4 of them if you want to take all 4. Or again, there may only be 1 you take or 2 you take. It just depends on your pathway. Now, the question often comes up, and I just saw one come up in the chat. How can I get financial assistance? We have never, ever, ever turned somebody away for not being able to pay for a class. So while I say there's no qualifications to taking a pre-apprentice class, you may be thinking, well, there's a barrier there for me paying that $250. I don't have that. Come talk to us. We will set you up with not just our student success specialists, but our entire workforce training team. There's a lot of different members that do different things. But if you're sitting there saying, I can't even take those pre-apprentice classes, come to us and work with us. We're always looking to remove different barriers. So The pre-apprentice classes, right? There's a cost to them. And if you can't, again, we'll cover them. But the apprentice pathways where it gets really exciting, right? We are going to pay you to learn. We literally pay you to learn a skill and to take you from apprentice to journeyman. And there's a pathway, a number of different pathways for employment, for full-time employment after apprenticeship. But I think the best part about this, right, is okay, you need to learn something. A lot of people go, well, I can't quit my full-time job, or I can't quit something else, or I can't stop watching my my brother or sibling or child, whatever it might be, to go learn this new skill. Well, if we can remove barriers to allow you in there, hopefully the idea is that then you can, right? So we pay you the living wage of the city. I think in Bakersfield that's $17 an hour, if not $17.50 an hour. That's also with benefits. So our apprenticeship program is changing the country as we know it. We hope to be in many more cities soon. But that's a little bit, there's more to come on that. I don't want to go too in depth. Another question: how can I get assistance with a laptop? We provide laptops to our apprentices, and then others that are in our pre-apprentice courses, we can help with that. So again, much of our mission, right, is about, and if you haven't tuned in to anything before today, like if this is your first time ever on with Bitwise, there's a lot of Bitwise videos you can watch on YouTube, a lot you can read on our website. But our main mission, right, is building a representative tech workforce. And the way you do that is by removing barriers that have traditionally been put up to keep people out of the tech workforce. So that is our sole and main mission. So just to know, if this is something you want to do, come to us, come talk to us. We will work with you the whole way through. All right. I have, here's another question. I'm 47 now. Does that matter? I'm looking to learn and be a part of tech. It does not matter at all. We have people who have taken our pre-apprenticeship courses, I think from the age of 7 up to 72. So that gives you, in fact, you're right there at the end in the middle. But for it does not matter at all. Again, there's not prereqs we're looking for, right? We're looking for you to want to learn a new skill. We're looking for you to want to make a change. We're looking for you to want to be part of the industry. So nothing of age or any prereqs matters. Are you accepting new students? We sure are. We're accepting our pre-apprentice courses, run on a 6-week loop. So I'm blanking on the exact time of these new courses starting, but if you email workforce@bitwiseindustries.com, you will get connected to the entire workforce team. So all of that will be, it would be my recommendation for any details that you want within workforce. I applied for a job. Who do I check in with? I believe HR at Bitwise Industries. I don't want to give that out if I don't know. I believe that's who you should be going through. Is anything HR related should be going through the HR channel. But I would imagine they should be getting back to you. I'm not sure when you applied or who you applied with. I can't give you all the information, unfortunately, on this. Is co-working open? No, it is not just yet, but it will be. Again, that goes back to all of our protocols and safety precautions we are taking with COVID. Again, we take that very seriously. We will be opening as soon as we can. It's set up for co-working. So as soon as we can, we will be opening to the public. You cannot get a membership just yet. You can chat with, we can connect you with co-working so you can talk about it. You can learn more about it. We can get you information, but we have not started signing up people just yet. So you can, I apologize. I realize I'm reading questions and not reading them aloud. Can I lease a space? You sure can. You can get with our, now dependent on, we are very full. We have leased all the spaces out at 1701 and have a waiting list. Um, to I would recommend, I believe you contact, um, I believe it is real estate at bitwiseindustries.com. I may not, let's put that in the chat if we can, to our team. I just want to make sure I'm giving the right email address. Um, that though is something that team would need to take up. I don't have the list of all of our spaces, um, but that can be taken up with that team. Can I book a room for an event? So, you can, in the future, as soon as we know we're going to be open. We don't want to again book something for your event, right, where we're not going to be fully open to the public. Um, but classrooms go for $100, with a minimum of 5 hours. So you can rent our classrooms when we're up and ready to go. We have a ton of event space though. So the question was, can I book a room for an event, right? Um, and and so the that's a little bit of we're not sure yet, right? You can book specific rooms, and that's classrooms. Outside of that, there's tons of event space. So I'll speak to just 1701 at this moment, but 1701, there is the outdoor space. If anybody caught the Jim Scott interview I did on, I think it was Saturday, we sat at the outdoor space. That outdoor space feeds out from our tap room, that has been leased now, uh, that people can rent and enjoy as the public comes in, right? They can go outside. There's fire pits, there's umbrellas, there's all kinds of things. So there's a ton of that. Can I book a room for an event? Is a loaded question because there's so much space to be rented, right? It's not just rooms, it's event space, it's classrooms, it's all of the above. If I want Bitwise to participate in an event, uh, who do I contact? Contact PR at bitwiseindustries.com and they'll be able to send you to the appropriate channel. And that is up right there on the screen, PR at bitwiseindustries.com. Do we have any other questions coming in? All right, we have time for one more question. Oh, here we go. I have a tech project that I need help with. What do I do? Um, so we have an entire tech consulting team, um, which I believe has an alias of tech consulting at bitwiseindustries.com. I want to let everybody know though, in our town, in Bakersfield, right? You can always reach out to anybody that you know, for example, the city, the county, the chamber. They often reach out to me directly. Is that the best way? Probably not. It's not the direct pathway, but we are always happy to hand off anything. So if you have a connection at Bitwise, you can always use them, right? But tech consulting at bitwiseindustries.com will also be able to help you with that. Tech consulting is that second line of business. Anybody that's been on here knows that. But if you don't, we build custom software, we build websites, we build apps, we do integrations, we provide Salesforce admins from our workforce training and workforce development team. A number of different things we can do, right? If you have something in mind for your business or organization and you think it doesn't exist out there, come to us. We'll build it custom for you. So great question. Any other questions? I think we got to the last one. Okay. At this time, I think we are good to go. I apologize if we did not get your question. Again, please email PR@bitwiseindustries.com. It has been an absolute pleasure talking with you guys tonight. I can't wait to see all of you in person in 2022 at some point. But thank you again for spending the evening with us. We're excited for all the things to come in Bakersfield.